the channel, and you catch me in today my new daily driver. Sadly, long story short, my 3-door Discovery 300 TDI rear cross member basically snapped. That was because the rear cross member was made out of fiberglass from the previous owner, so thanks for that, whoever did that little job there. And I have to say that wasn't Chris. I did buy the car off Chris, but it was the previous owner who did that, and it did actually a really good job of hiding a lot of the corrosion on that. Sadly, I made the decision just to get rid of it because it had more rust than what my other two Discoveries have put together. So I was already spending money on them two there to get certain jobs done, and I definitely didn't want to have to do that to a car that I needed as a daily driver. So that's gone, and you find me now in a 2004 S80 Volvo. Oh yes, bit of Swedish luxury. The S80 I always thought was a cracking looking car. A little bit out of proportion when it first came out, but as they've matured, and definitely with the facelift, you look at it and you go, oh, that looks nice. That does look nice. Ergonomically, it looks lovely. Even all of the interior, I love the interior. I mean, this is the S model, so it is pretty much the standard basic car. Options wise, I've got a CD player, radio, I've got heated cloth seats, because remember this is the S, not the SE or the SE Lux or the Executive. So the S, you basically got cloth velour seats, and these were heated, and the heated seats in this car are absolutely amazing, and I mean absolutely amazing. We've got aircon, multi-way adjustable aircon in that. You've got, like I said, cracking radio. This has actually been retrofitted with projector lights and xenons. Now, the UK legislation clearly states you have to have headlamp washers if you fit xenon lights to a car. Well, guess what? Volvo from standard has headlamp washers, and it also has headlamp wipers. So the previous owner had fitted the projector headlamps to the genuine Volvo lights with the xenons. Really does make the car look a lot more modern. I know it is a bit of a, you know, the S80 1998, so it's pretty much a 24-year-old design, but I still think they're a cracking looking car. This engine variant that I've got here is the 2.4 5-cylinder 20 valve non-turbo. This is the lowest horsepower one that they did. It was the 140 horsepower and about 162 foot-pounds of torque, about 220 newton meters of torque. It does all right. I'm not gonna lie, it's, you know, it is what it is. It's a this car here is 18 years old. It's done 124,000 miles. I've owned it for about a month now, and I've done 1,000 miles in it easy. It drives really well. The only thing that I've done to it suspension wise was I could get like a bit of a knocking on the front end, and I did the drop links, anti-roll bar drop links, and 2 ball joints. Now that got rid of at least 2 of the knocks that I had originally when I picked the car up. However, I still got a bit of a knock on the driver's side, so I'm not too sure what that is. I'm going to have to get that checked out, because I do not like knocks. I can get away with a bit of body work, which is what this needs, just a tiny little bit of body work. It's not like the Land Rover where it's rusty and it's falling to bits. I've done a full service on it because, like I said, I like to keep my cars in good order. Went with a 540 ester based oil, lovely oil, really sort of quieted the engine down a little bit, as opposed to what was in previously, which I couldn't really sort of tell whether it was 040, 030 or 530. There's different grades of oil that Volvo recommends in the handbook as to what you should be putting in at what certain time of the year. So I just went with the 540, which pretty much just bang in the middle, if I'm honest. So yeah, frugal. It really is quite frugal, this car. 32 mpg. I'm getting, and I travel about 15 miles to work and then 15 miles back. And I don't hit any dual carriageways. I always hit the B roads. So 32 mpg, I'm actually quite happy with that. I did a short run to Gisborough, just on the borders of Yorkshire, and I was getting 41 out of that, and I was pretty much doing like 65, 70 miles an hour. And yeah, like I said, I'm really happy with that. So let's talk about the history of the Volvo S80 now. Production wise, this car was in production, the Mark 1 was in production 1998 to 2006. This is a 2004 variant car, so you do get things like the chrome on top of the doors. You get a slightly different grille, so you get a facelift grille, colour coded bumper rubber strips front and rear. You got the side door strips, which were usually like a, you know, like a textured black colour. They're now colour coded as well. You got a few extra chrome bits here and there, rear lights, rear trim. The S80 was designed to be the executive saloon. Now in the UK, you got the engine options. You had a 2.4 litre 5-cylinder 140 horsepower unit, which is what this is, petrol. You got the 2.4 litre 170 horsepower unit, which is the, you know, slightly more horsepower variant of this very same engine. You did also get, in the UK, you got the bi-fuel system. So Volvo did the LPG stroke normal fossil fuel car, which I think was quite popular, in fact. You also got the 2.9 litre straight 6 transverse engine, non-turbo. You got a 2.4 litre turbocharged engine, which was the same basic engine as what you would normally find in a S60 T5 of around that era of 2004 and so on and so forth. You also had the 2.4 litre D5, and you also had, at the very beginning, a 2.5 litre 5-cylinder Audi derived turbo diesel. And if you were feeling flush, you had the 2.9 litre T6, which again was a transverse 6-cylinder engine with 2 turbos. That car had 272 horsepower. Absolute madness, especially for a car that's this big and it's front wheel drive. Now trims, you had the S, which is what this is, bit of body basic, but it's still got nice things like heated seats, power steering, nice CD player, good sound system. It's not lacking in functions. In fact, I think the functions on this car are slightly better than the leather, because obviously if you've got leather seats, the actual leather seats in the summer, they really make the car hot and sticky. Anybody who's got leather seats who sit in their car in the summer will absolutely 100% agree that that's probably one of the worst things of owning the car with leather in the summer, is the heat, the stickiness. You don't get that with this. Cloth seats, nice and cool. Even in the winter, when it's cold, obviously you have to have leather interior. The leather's cold. Nope, not with this. Nice cloth interior. Put the heat seater on, you're warmed up. And these heat seaters are absolutely instantaneous. Literally, I put the seat heater on, and by the time I reach the end of my street, my backside is on fire and my back is on fire, because this is a two area heated seat. So you've got the base as well as the lumbar support. Let's get back to trims again. Sorry folks, I get sidetracked. You had the S, you had the SE looks, and if you were the daddy of all of the hornblower Swedish love, you got the executive top level trim. Now the executive, you only got 3 engines in that in the UK in the executive spec. I think it was a 2.4 litre D5, 2.4 litre turbo petrol, and the 2.9 litre twin turbo T6. Those were the only engine options that you actually got with the executive level cars, and that was because those were the flagship engines for Volvo at that time, especially in the S80. The The S80 took over from its predecessor. Now its predecessor was the Volvo S90, and previously to the S90 name, the actual car name originally was the 960. Now the 960, this is where I sort of got a bit confused, because the 960 and the S90 had estate versions of those cars. So you had the S90 and the V90, the 960 Saloon and the 960 Estate. Volvo broke away from this in the entirety of the Volvo S80 range, because there was no estate variant to this car. They just made the executive saloon, which I didn't really sort of get, because the S60, which was a cracking car, and I've owned two of them cars and I've loved both of them very, very much. I've always fancied the V70, but I thought to myself, you know what it is, the V70 is a lovely car, it's nice, it's big, but how amazing would an S80 variant estate look? I think it would have looked absolutely fantastic. And even now, Volvo sort of gone back to that high-end luxury saloon like what this is, with the newer S90 and the V90, which took over from the S80 range. I think these are really, really good cars. As a daily, it was a no-brainer for me. Like I said, I've owned two of these cars, Volvos anyway, not an S80 but a Volvo. I've owned a 2001 black 2-litre turbo, which was a 5-cylinder petrol turbo. I've also owned a D5 S60, beautiful car, every single one of them absolutely flawless, never had any issues with them at all, absolutely perfect to drive. And this was it was a no-brainer. I said to Chris, I just need something dependable, reliable, something that I can put fuel in, do basic maintenance, and just drive it to and from work. And like I said, I've got a real soft spot for these cars, and when I've got a regime with every new car, and I think everybody has this, you know, if you get like a new to you car, a used car, you know, you do like the decontamination in the inside, you do all of the external, you know, wash, polish, wax, a little bit of wax, you know, just to make them look nice. Like I said, I've already done a couple of little bits and bobs with this. I don't want to be doing too much because it is going to be my daily driver. But I think if you're in the market for a daily driver and you don't want to spend a lot of money, you can actually pick these up for, I think, about £700 to like £1,500–1,600. If you want like an immaculate 2.9 T6 executive, it might take you back £2,500. But in the end of the day, it's you know, for what you get value for money, you know, it's absolutely superb. And the Swedish know how to make a car, they really, really do, especially Volvo. All their cars are sort of like built like tanks, and if I'm being honest, I feel like the S80, that was like the last of the properly built Volvos, like a big brute, because this is what this car is to me. It's that steed of Volvo where they were built to last. You know, you had all the airbags, and then you had Volvo's brilliant SIP system, the side impact protection system, and you know, you feel safe in a Volvo. You always feel safe in a Volvo, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's just build quality and how well they are built and how well they do survive is part of the charm of Volvo. So yeah, here it is, my beautiful Volvo S80. If you want us to show you some of the things that we've done at the Volvo, please, you know, comment, like, share, subscribe. I will be doing some more stuff to this car. We're going to be probably changing the wheels, because the wheels are non-genuine wheels, and I'm a little bit of a stickler for me dailies. You know, I like to have the proper wheels set up and the tyres set up, because the tyres at the moment, they're not the best, and they are a slightly lower profile than what should be on the car. So yeah, folks. But like I said, I hope you're loving the content that we've been uploading recently. We've had a massive range and variety of content go up. I've literally just uploaded our new tow vehicle, which is the beautiful Mercedes ML350 CDI. I've just also uploaded a cracking video of the Frankenstein 350Z, the one with the RB25 fully forged engine, going round one of the drift tracks up here in Teesside, and that's got some epic drone footage. And the owner of that car basically said to me, listen, I've bought the rights to the video, I've bought the video, do with it what you please, just upload it onto YouTube. And like I said, I think it's an absolutely cracking video. Not very long, it's about 2 minutes long, but it's a really good video to watch if you're into your Japanese imports and your drifting. So yeah, I think that's about it, folks. And like I said, please like, share and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and we will be back with some more Volvo antics, I think. Cheers now, bye bye.